This evening, I'd like to take a moment to destroy the shadow that hangs over what I consider a great American saying, power to the people. I'd like to go back to how this saying originated. It started with Reverend Leroy. See, before Reverend Leroy was ordained, he was Deacon Leroy. He was working part-time at a little church called the Church of What Was Happening Then. It was run by a guy called Reverend Edwards. One Sunday, Reverend Edwards says to the congregation, brothers and sisters, my head ain't quite together this morning, so we won't have a sermon. However, we will pass the plate. No sense in y'all holding that money another week. After passing the plate and dismissing the congregation, he called Deacon Leroy aside and he said to him, say there, Deke. He called him Deke. He said, why don't you and I go up to the haunted house? Deke said, what's up there? Rev said, well, I got some white lightning up there. See, generally, we think of white lightning as a liquid. Actually, it's... He didn't have a ticket. Like I was saying, generally we think of white lightning as a liquid. It's actually chunks of a lightning bolt. See, I would have said pieces of something else, but lightning bolts come in chunks. Chunk of lightning bolt. And at this time they used to chew it. They get a charge out of chewing it. Lips turn red. You be charged. Reverend Leroy, they go up to the haunted house, and Reverend Edwards takes out a couple pieces of lightning bolt that he had wrapped up in a silver foil. So they... Must have brought his old lady with him. They're sitting there chewing on a piece of lightning bolt, getting a charge. And in the next room, there was a strange noise, like... Dun, 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 dun. Dick said, what was that? Jeff said, be cool, so don't worry, it's just probably a ghost. Said, but you don't have to be afraid because the power is with you. And the power will protect you. Have no fear when the power is with you. Rev said, are you sure the power's with me? Said, I'm very sure. Very sure. So they're sitting there relaxing and open up another bolt. They had a big brown bag of bolts. As they chewed on the second bolt, Dick heard the sound of dragging chains. They were in a distance. They were becoming louder. And then from the top of the stairs, he heard a light. Ooh. Made a break for the door. Jeff said, didn't I tell you you didn't have to be afraid as long as the power was with you? Said, if I'd known you were going to act like this, I could have bought a sister. Said, I'd have had a lot more fun here at the haunted house with a sister and some white lightning. Suddenly the dragging chains got louder. And in the next room, the ceiling fell. Kaboom! That's how a ceiling sounds when it falls. Most people think the ceiling goes splat! The ceiling goes kaboom! Dick jumped up, turned around, looked up and down, and dashed. Friends, I want to make it very clear that Deke did not run. Deke dashed. See, there's a difference between running and dashing. You can run with your coat on. But to dash, you gotta take your coat off, open your tie, gotta brace yourself, and then you are gone. the reverend, shot by the deacon. Then the deacon shot back by the reverend. And he came to a hill. Well, the reverend was getting kind of old, so Deke passed him on the hill. Passed him going up the hill, and he really left him when they were going around the turn at the top of the hill because it's a long straightaway. Deke was moving. Rev yelled out, "Brother, don't be afraid, the power's with you." Deke said, "I'll save myself. Give the power to the people."